Welcome to Storybound, where we're going to dive into a series that is near and dear to my heart, Metroid. Because during a Nintendo Treehouse, Nintendo announced a game I was not expecting. Metroid 5, titled Metroid Dread, a new 2D side-scroller with some really awesome looking gameplay and a cat and mouse mechanic that has been pretty popular the last few years. For those of you who aren't in the know, this game was rumored as a DS sequel to Fusion back in 2005, a full 16 years ago, and Fusion was in 2002, so we haven't seen a Metroid sequel in this format in 19 years. So it's been a while, and I figured it might be time to dive into what happened so far in Samus's journey through Metroid 1 through 4, and some thoughts on Dread. Metroid 1. The year is 20X5, and space pirates attack a Galactic Federation-owned space research vessel and steal Metroid samples from the station. Metroids, as the name of the game implies, are very important. They're parasitic life forms and were discovered on the planet SR388. The Metroids are sentient organisms akin to a floating jellyfish which can attach itself onto organisms and drain their energy and life force until the death of the host. Within the timeline of Metroid 1, the space pirates plan to weaponize the Metroids by exposing them to radiation and forcing them to replicate. This would allow them to wage an invasive species warfare against enemies of the organization. The Galactic Federation locates the space pirates' base of operations on the planet Zebes, however, are unable to retrieve the Metroid specimens during their assaults on the planet and lose against the pirates' superior hold on the celestial body. As a last resort, the Federation enlists Samus Aran, a lone bounty hunter of serious renown within the Federation and the galaxy, the best of the best. She is hired to bypass the pirates' defenses and destroy the Mother Brain. The Mother Brain is a creature mechanical construct that is the AI's control system for the space pirates' defense system and the base of operations on Zebes. So taking down this biomechanical creature will allow the Federation to properly penetrate and invade the pirate base. Throughout the game, we explore the surface and the depths of planet Zebes. Samus fights and defeats Kraid and Ridley, generals of the pirate base, as well as the Mother Brain that activates a bomb which is designed to destroy the pirate base, and Samus is forced to escape the planet, where we end the first game. Moving into the events of Metroid 2, the Galactic Federation fights to ensure that Metroid's power is never weaponized by pirates, even going so far as sending kill squads to the planet SR388 to destroy the species in its entirety. This effort, however, fails catastrophically, and the entire team sent by the Galactic Federation dies on SR388. So once again, the Federation contracts Samus to clean up their mess. While exploring the planet, Samus discovers the Metroids and begins to decrease the planet's population of their species. After eradicating most of the planet's Metroids, Samus finds the source and fights and kills the Queen Metroid. Samus then proceeds to return to her gunship through the planet's tunnels, and while escaping the planet, she discovers a Metroid egg that hatches within her presence, and the hatchling imprints onto Samus and sees her as its mother. Samus is unable to kill this hatchling and spares its life. She exits the tunnels. The Metroid helps her on her journey to the planet's surface, and Samus, along with the infant, leave the planet on her ship. Which moves us to the events of Metroid 3. We arrive at the Ceres space station for scientific study. During the investigation and testing of the Metroid informed the researchers that the energy-producing abilities could be harnessed for the good of civilization. We start playing as Samus, receiving a distress call from the science station, discovering everyone is dead and has been murdered. We encounter Ridley, the leader of the space pirates who survived our previous encounter, who flies off after a brief encounter, stealing the Metroid and starting the destruct sequence on the station. Samus is forced to escape and tracks Ridley back to the planet Zebes. It is uncovered during her search that the pirates have rebuilt their base of operations to some extent on the planet. Samus fights her way through the pirate generals, monstrous creatures, as well as several Metroids, to the pirates' base. She discovers the Metroid, which imprints on her, and it nearly kills her, but stops at the last moment, realizing who it is. Samus fights a rebuilt Mother Brain, who nearly defeats Samus, but before it's able to, the Metroid larva intervenes, fighting off Mother Brain and healing and empowering Samus. Mother Brain is able to kill the Metroid, but not before it provides Samus with the Hyper Beam, which allows Samus to defeat Mother Brain. Samus is then forced to escape before Zeebs self-destructs. Moving into the events of Metroid 4, where Samus returns to the planet of SR-388 with a group from Biologic Space Laboratories, BSL, where she encounters another parasitic organism known as X and is forced to return to the BSL station. She loses consciousness, X taking her body and systems over. Her ship floats off into space and is destroyed. Her body is recovered, and the scientists find X has infected Samus's central nervous system. They are able to revive her with the help of a vaccine created from the cells taken from the infant Metroid from SR-388, and this vaccine gives Samus the new ability to convert X into energy. Samus's infected power suit is sent to the BSL station for examination, minus the parts that of which have permanently grafted themselves to her body due to X's infection. Samus awakens and is informed of an explosion on the BSL station. She's sent to investigate. Samus learns that the X parasite can replicate their host's physical appearances, and that the X have infected the station with the help of SA-X, which is a complete mimic and copy of Samus and her power suit at full power. As she continues to defeat creatures, she regains her abilities by absorbing their X. During her investigation, she uncovers a restricted lab with Metroid specimens. SA-X sets off the lab's auto-destruct sequence in reaction to this. Samus is once again able to escape another self-destruct sequence, her specialty, and her computer Adam at this point has been complaining that Samus is ignoring orders and going rogue by allowing the lab to be destroyed and admitting that the Federation is secretly breeding Metroids. It is also revealed that SA-X has been able to reproduce and can asexually clone itself. On our way to the ship to leave the station, Adam orders Samus to stay out of the investigation and that the Federation will oversee the capture of SA-X. Samus declines and states her intention to destroy the station. Because of the replicating nature of X, the longer it's able to absorb and gain knowledge and power, the worse things that will become for the galaxy. Adam recommends possibly sending the station to collide with SR-388, destroying the planet with all X populations. It is at this time Samus realizes that Adam is not just an AI, but the uploaded consciousness of her former officer. Samus agrees to the plan, and while she goes to the propulsion room, she is forced to battle SA-X and is able to defeat it, and sets the space station to collide with SR-388. Before Samus is able to leave, she is stopped by an Omega Metroid. Surprisingly, the SA-X comes to her rescue and dies. Samus absorbs the X and uses her newly restored powers to defeat the Metroid, runs to her ship, and escapes before the station crashes into the SR-388, destroying it, leading into Metroid 5. We're being told Metroid 5, Metroid Dread, will wrap up Samus's story arc of the previous 4 games. Based on Samus's arc so far, I wouldn't be surprised if the Metroids are left on a new homeworld to live in peace. I would also love to see some justice served up to the Galactic Federation, and I know fans would probably enjoy seeing Samus have to face off against Adam as an AI machine of some sort to get back at him for all the hate that character got during Other M. Thanks again for watching Storybound. This has been a recap of Metroid 1 through 4. I do want to clarify there is some overlap between Metroid 1 through 5, Prime, Other M, Hunters, etc. However, I've chosen to stick to the main entry for the focus of this video. If you want to see more game story videos, weekly book, manga, comic reviews, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a good one.